In this short video, I will explain how you can control which markers are displayed on a Google map. To display a Google map in a Where I Am, in most cases you define a special content panel in a visual perspective, where you specify a query and the attribute used by the query to retrieve markers. Let me show you. So let's go to some visual perspective, and in there we can define another content panel and specify a Google map. And in the Google map, we can specify a query and an attribute in this query that stores the location of the marker, either coordinates or the address. By default markers are used. However, you can define special presentation rules that describe which markers are to be used. So if we go to the business object where we have the marker location attribute defined, we can define presentation rules for this attribute. Can be conditional or unconditional. In this case, I will not define any conditions. And now we can see there is a Google Maps marker option that we can specify. So here we can choose which markers will be used by Where I Am. You can choose from the predefined ones, or you can even define your own custom marker and provide a URL to that marker here. You can even define tag expressions in this URL if the type of the marker depends on certain conditions. In addition, you can put a text on the marker if you define a presentation rule that displays a label. So if we define another rule, we can specify which text will be displayed on the marker. Also, if we define an operation with records for the query that shows markers on the map, we can now use the getDirections operation that has an option to display detailed directions in a separate window. So if we open the query, we can define an operation with record here of the getDirections type. And there are two types of directions. One is displayed in the same tab and it has less information, but if you tick this checkbox, the directions will be displayed in a separate window, and very, very nice directions will be displayed there. Let me show you how it all works in a real-world application. So here we have an application for electricians who want to see which stores are available within a certain radius of their current location. And then they can compare prices of the product. And see which stores are nearby and the prices of the particular product in that store. So they can click on the map of stores, specify a radius, and then the map is displayed with the locations of the stores, like this one here. And if I choose Get Directions, I see a detailed Google map with directions. Note that this is a custom marker here, and note how the Google map looks like. It's different from the standard look and feel of a Google map. Let me show you now how this has been configured. The Google map is specified in the Map of Stores visual perspective. So this is the page with the Google map. And we can see that it uses the query store distance pair for map, and which shows the object called store distance pair. And in that object, we have the attribute defined that stores the coordinates of the store in the attribute called let lngsc. So if we go to that query, so this is the query, and this is the object that stores the location of the store on the map, store distance pair. And this is the attribute. Now if we look at the presentation rules of this attribute, we can see that for a particular condition, different types of Google Map markers are displayed. This preview is not quite right, but you can see the API, the URL of the marker, which uses tag expression here. Going back to the query, we can see operation with records has the get directions operation that displays detailed directions in a separate window. If you are curious as to how the gray look and feel of the map has been achieved, I can tell you that it has been done with a script using Google APIs. So if we go back to the Google Map page in a visual perspective, we can see a script here that uses Google Map API to display information in a Google Map with a particular style.